Hi everyone. So I had posted a picture of the Kobe Bryant and Gianna, and in the caption I said I was going to post a video that was coming soon. So here's me doing the video. I just been so busy this week getting things situated. Because for those of you who don't know, I was in a car accident about 2-3 weeks ago. Nothing too major or bad, just a fender bender, but I'm okay. Now I've been looking for a car, and I found one this week today. But so I kind of been behind on it and stuff. So, but basically, my thoughts on the day, it was very shocking. I was not expecting it. I really expected Kobe to grow old. You know what I'm saying? I expected to see him when he grow and be older, gray hair, all of that. And for his daughter, 13 years old, to die so young. She had her whole entire life ahead of her, and she was just so young, and she was just so full of promise. And the fact that she was so excited and so ready to take on her father's legacy and do him proud and do him justice, it was crazy that she wasn't able to get a chance and opportunity, but hopefully somebody will be able to carry on his legacy. I just feel for his wife and his other three children, especially his 7-month-old, because she would never get to know her father. She was so young, and they literally just had her, so he wasn't in her life as much, and it's just so sad. Um, there were some other things that had came to mind. It was basically there were some things that came on the radio. I think that week that he passed, like it was like a Tuesday. I remember my mom was giving me a ride to work, and we were listening to the Ricky Smiley morning show where they were talking about Kobe, and apparently in his younger days he used to say all the time, "I want to die young. I want to die young because I want to be immortalized." And so and that kind of hit me. I was like, wow. So I went on Google and did my own research to see if I can find the articles of him ever saying or it being talked about him saying that. And it was true, he did say that. But it also said that later on, when he had his children, when he had his family, his attitude changed on that. So I don't believe that he still felt that way or still thinking that way at leading up at the time of his death or within the past couple of years. You have to do your research. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of bothered me that the Ricky Smiley Morning Show or This Nation was kind of just focused on that, but they didn't do their whole entire research or also bring up that, hey, his attitude did change once he had his children, started his family. So he wasn't feeling or thinking that way. So accidents happen, tragedies happen. And I don't think he was ready to go, and I don't think he wanted to bring his child into that. Cause I really, for most people, once you have kids, your mindset changes. It's like, hey, I want to be there for my kids and my wife. I want to see them grow up, get older, get married, have kids. I want to be there. I want to be a grandfather. And I'm pretty sure he wanted to grow old with Vanessa. And I'm pretty sure those were their plans for them to grow old together. I don't think he would have wanted his daughter to go that young. I can only imagine what's going through his mind, knowing that his child was with him and his plan was going as possible she would not survive. So I don't think he wanted that for her or wanted her to go with him. And so just very shocking and devastating. But I just wish that people just did a little more research. But I do agree with what they were saying, because they were saying that he was saying that, putting it out there in the universe, just out there. And yes, God does hear you, and you do have to be careful, mindful of what you say, because you know you do have to be mindful of what you say and things that you do, because it can come back to bite you, because you keep saying that after a while this will happen. It's like, well, how did I get here? How am I already gone? Or your family sitting here trying to figure out and understand how is it that he is no longer around, because you have to be careful what you put in the universe. There's even scriptures in the Bible that talks about that says you should not speak of those things and like blessing and cursing out of the same mouth that you speak blessings. You should not speak curses out of the same mouth. Let me see, I was looking for. I think I just found them right here. Hold on a second. Yeah, so here's a scripture, James 3:10, that says, "Out of the same mouth proceed blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things are not to be so." Because you cannot sit here and out of the same mouth that you see blessings speak cursing. You can't curse yourself or curse anybody. You know what I'm saying? Basically, he's saying like either choose, and the common sense thing to do, or the thing we all should do, we should all do, is be positive and speak blessings upon one another. Even your enemies, speak blessings upon your enemies. Because a lot of times when you speak something against a person, it can come back on you. So you want to speak blessings and you want to be positive. You don't want to curse yourself. Be mindful of things you say. Just like if you have a car and you look around other people's cars and you start talking bad about your car and, oh, I wish my car had this, I wish my car was this. Be mindful. Because then when you sit there and lose something, you don't realize how much you like something or care for something or how much you need something until you lose it. Just like being in a relationship with someone, when you treat that person so bad and speaking never against them and tear them down and coming at them, you don't realize how good that person was, how much you or how much you would care for and love them or like them in your life until you lose them. So just be mindful of things that you say. Another scripture is Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Very powerful. Because it's true, death and life, because your tongue has power. And death and life is in that power. So be mindful of what you say. Because if you speak death, the tongue is very powerful. Again, if you speak life, you live a long time, you be eternal. So the tongue is very powerful. So just be mindful of things you speak and say, not just about yourself, but about family, about family members and other people. Just be mindful. Proverbs 15:4. A soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perversive tongue crushes the spirit. So my tongue is soothing and it's kind. It kind of it's a tree like gives you life. It helps that person breathe. That person feels good about themselves. It's very soothing and warm and kind to the ear, and it kind of makes them see themselves differently. They start feeling better about themselves or see themselves in a different light. They start feeling good about themselves. But when you sit there, but a perversive tongue, it can crush a person's spirit. So, like, if you're talking down on someone or against someone or against yourself, it doesn't lift you up. It brings you down. It kind of tears up your spirit and your confidence. That's how some people have low self-esteem and low self-worth, or they don't see their value or their worth because they have been crushed and torn down by the things people have said. So just be mindful. A soothing tongue, it gives a person high self-esteem. It builds them up. They know their worth, and their worth is high, and they know their value, and they tend to respect themselves a little bit more and care for themselves a little bit more. So just be mindful of things that you say to yourself and also to others. And then Proverbs 15:1. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. So basically, again, kind of with the mouth, like when you go to respond, like somebody asks you a question or you try to figure things out, sometimes a gentle answer, or just being very kind with your responses. When you say this, kind of be mindful basically when you speak and be cautious. You know what I'm saying? Be gentle when you say things to people, because people in this world, everybody to some degree is sensitive about something. So just be mindful of what you are saying, and just what I'm saying, to be considered, because you don't really know a person's history, the background, how they were brought up. Just be mindful and stuff. And once again, just be mindful of things that come out your mouth. All touching back to that, because it can't come back to bite you or haunt you and stuff. But those are scriptures that are in the Bible that kind of back up the saying about the blessing and curse in your mouth and how your tongue is powerful. Just be mindful about what you're speaking and what you're saying. So I do agree with that, about what they were saying about, be mindful of what you're saying and saying you want to die, and you got to be careful with that. But I wish they would have did more. I wish they would have mentioned that. But as years went by in their church, they never said this. I don't think they knew. And that just bothered me. They didn't really do all that. Another thing that bothered me was this guy. I can't pronounce his name. It's a crazy name, but we give him the A. It's like I or something. And apparently, he has this social media account where when famous people die, he kind of does this little joke thing over there where he kind of talks about, says things about him. But people were very upset when he did things about Kobe Bryant. And I think Gary Owen did his video post on that, so I learned about it. And to me personally, I just feel that you should never sit there and ever talk about someone that has died. It just, to me, just disrespectful and just wrong to speak or talk about someone that has passed, because they're not there to defend themselves. On top of that, they have family, so you have to think about the family, how that, like, what somebody was showing, or what they just have come across, or what. And that is very offensive and insensitive and disrespectful to um to the family. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know who's gonna see it, and you have to be mindful. They have wives, and he literally just passed, but apparently that guy has done it to a lot of celebrities. I just think in general, when someone dies, you do not say disrespectful stuff. You be very sensitive. You don't sit there and say, well, who was stupid enough to sit there and not charge their plane? Just saying stuff like that. It's almost like you blame the victim. You never, when somebody goes to anything, rape, death, abuse, most of it, you never blame that person for anything. for anything. You know what I'm saying? And to sit there kind of blame him, and it was too, not if it was too soon. To me, I feel it shouldn't be done at all, period. And I think a lot of people are sick, and maybe it was done too soon. Because you gotta think, this person just died, so feelings and emotions are raw. And any little thing, like I know my brother died, I was very sensitive. And things that I probably wouldn't have been upset about, I wouldn't have, I'm not saying I still would have been upset, but I wouldn't have reacted right then. You know what I'm saying? I reacted them because you know what I'm saying. Your emotions are raw, so almost any little thing somebody does to you is gonna piss you off and bother you and frustrate you. So you have to be mindful. And people are grieving. You know what I'm saying? It was just too soon to draw. And even if he had waited, I still would have been against it because to me it's just not okay. A person is dead, and you dis. To me, I feel like it's just spreading the dead, their loved ones. You know what I'm saying? And it's tragic. And another thing is lately things right after he passed, a lot of stuff came about this sexual assault allegation or whatever like that. And I feel that's not his legacy. That's not who he is. I felt that situation was dealt with. He was alive. It was still alcohol was done. He was able to overcome it. The fact that he was able to overcome and get it behind him. Because to be honest with you, I kind of forgot. Like a lot of people, I kind of forgot about it. Like a lot of people, I kind of forgot about the whole thing. And he's put it behind him. The girl has, and I don't feel that should be brought when this man is dead and he cannot defend himself. And you got to tell his wife and other people that are around, they're gonna deal with it. Just like Michael Jackson's film, it's like he's not around. Those people had their day in court while things continue to keep coming up because people want to wait till now he's gone. Oh, let me say something. But and I can say it might be like okay, a fear thing because when he was like maybe he's scared or whatever. But the man's gone now. You can't get anything from it. You can't get any money from it because he's not around. You know what I'm saying? And nobody's just gonna give it to you. You had your chance in court. You even testified in court. It doesn't happen. But now you want to change the story up or whatever like that, and it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? To me, I feel that it should not have been. There should not have been a documentary. I think he should have just, maybe I don't know, maybe an interview or something. But I don't think it should have been a documentary. I think he was gonna eventually tell his side of the story. It should have been in the interview. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe he should have just, I don't know. But I don't think it should have been a documentary. And I don't think stuff like this should be coming up. There's people not here to defend themselves, and the only two people that were there was the girl and him. And I just feel like it's never okay to bring something that a person cannot defend themselves. He's passed. It's not his legacy, and I don't think you should be asking other people about like the whole Gail King thing. You don't ask somebody, even though she made a comment back during that time. I don't think you would ask her, "Or does his legacy affect you?" or whatever like that. And it's like, well, sitting there asking Lisa Leslie, does Kobe Bryant's that sexual assault case, does that how she asked, it was like, okay, he had sexual assault case, and does do you it's what she asked it, but basically in the way of how it affected Lisa. She was like, Kobe Bryant's sexual assault case, does it affect like his legacy or the way would it affect you? Something about his legacy and would that affect you? Do you think it would affect you or something like that? The way she asked it, but it was just crazy, and I don't think she should even brought it up, even though Lisa Leslie had commented during that time when it happened. But I'll bring that up, and this man's no longer here. Why? It was not okay. I don't think she should be getting death threats though. Nobody should be threatened to be killed or attacked or something. That's just not okay. Snoop Dogg's going a little bit too far. You know what I'm saying? It's not okay. You know what I'm saying? You can't deal with stuff. You can't sit and every time you deal with something, be thuggish and want to kill people all the time. You know what I'm saying? All this sudden tragic death and you promoting death. You know what I'm saying? We just lost someone that we not expect to sit here and lose, and it affected everybody suddenly. You know what I'm saying? And last thing you should want is somebody to have to die over something stupid. Because matter of fact, she didn't even, she asked my question. Nobody agrees with it. But death is not the answer. To threaten to do death on somebody is not okay. But those were just my thoughts on it. Some things that was been going around about the Kobe things, the other stuff. But that was basically it. And so those are my thoughts, and it's a shock to the world, you know what I'm saying, especially the whole circumstance and the other 7 lives that were lost. I pray for those families, you know what I'm saying, to lose a mother, and then to lose, and you're left with the 3 children to take care of by yourself, and then to lose a mother, father, and your sister, to lose both of your parents, and then just to lose your wife. I think there was one where a mother and a daughter had died, and then it was just the mother by herself, and then it was the mother, father, and the daughter, and then of course Kobe Bryant and the pilot, just the whole, all the families, just to my prayers and condolences go out to them, because I know I've lost family, not in that way, but I have lost someone tragically, unexpectedly to gun violence. So I know it's like to suddenly lose that person, and so I can empathize, and it, like people were saying, this does trigger grief for people and things because everybody has gone through some type of loss, and it can trigger. So do seek mental health if you need it. I mean, if you need to talk to someone, talk to somebody. Get the help you need so you can continue to do what you do in your daily life. But my thoughts are going to go out to those families because they're suffering going through too. So think about those families, and just you guys have a wonderful day. And just be mindful and watch the things that you say. Bye bye.